the nasogastric tube, if it's not put in immediately after evaluating, and when would the standard of care have required it to be placed as the information unfolded?
I think with the results that we see with the x-ray, which would have been, again, sometime in the 4 p.m. hour, showing concern for bowel obstruction, not just, constipation, but, at least the possibility that there was a bowel obstruction, then I think the standard of care would be to go back to the patient and tell the patient that tube, something along the lines of that tube we talked about earlier but decided not to put in, I've changed my mind, I think we should put it in.
And how strongly do you need to recommend that to a patient if the patient's reluctant? Because I don't think that'll feel good.
Right.
Or something like that.
Certainly, yeah. I would explain why I felt it was necessary, what I thought the benefits would be. I would explain to them also, yeah, the tube might be uncomfortable. And if it is uncomfortable, and it's really, really, really uncomfortable for you, and you can always take it out if you want to. There's, just because you agree to have it put in now doesn't mean you've agreed in perpetuity. You can always change your mind after it's been in and say, no, I can't handle this, and we'll take it out, as long as you understand the benefits and risks of doing so.
Okay. In Ann Scoggins' case, if an NG tube had been put in, and we get to the time after she's given an enema, and let me ask this question first. If you have all of this information, would an enema, more likely than not, have also been given at the time it was given?
I don't fault Dr. Maldovino for ordering the enema.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just leave that one.
All right. So if she's going to have the enema anyway, it's going to happen about that time. What would have happened, do you believe, if she had had an NG tube in?
So what I believe would have happened is, had the NG tube had been placed earlier, such as at the time of admission, it would have done two things. One is it would have relieved a lot of the discomfort she was having by sucking out air and liquid in her stomach. Okay, and that would have helped her breathe better. The stuff coming out of the NG tube would have also been quite concerning. As we know, when she vomited, the stuff that she vomited was basically a liquid that contained stool in it. Basically, the stuff had been sitting in the bowels so long that it had basically started solidifying into a stool-like material. We put NG tubes in all the time. We see patients with NG tubes coming out. The stuff that comes out, we know what it looks like. That's what we expect. This greenish, material comes out. What comes out is looking like stool, and this would have been, the NG tube was put in the 2 o'clock hour when she first showed up, and by 3 o'clock we had it hooked up to the suction, and basically stool, liquid stool starts coming out of her stomach. That would have been a huge red flag that would have said, whoa, this is not, something's wrong here. And that would have led, again, to even more rapid evaluation. So it's quite possible that if had the NG tube been put in, her course would have been very different, because the finding would have led to other immediate actions being taken. But going specifically to your question about the enema and presumably the vomiting that occurred then, she may still have vomited, but the amount of vomit she would have produced would have been much less, because the stomach has been emptied out. It would have sucked all the liquid out of the stomach. Okay. And if she vomited, more likely than not, the amount of vomit in the situation would be such that she would not have aspirated, or certainly would not have aspirated to the degree and severity that she had, which led to her cardiac arrest and eventual death.